Hello everyone, this is Joel with SB Reviews. So today I'll be talking about if the Eufy 4K camera is actually worth it. I'm going to be covering all the different features for you guys, and we'll see just how useful this is. So here we have the box. Let's go ahead and take everything out. Pretty unique box. I do love the coloring on this thing. And here we go. So we got the camera here. This thing is really light. It's maybe like 1 or 2 pounds. Has this little plastic piece here before you start using it. And you can see the LEDs around the bottom here. And then you got the antenna, you got sync, power, nano, SIM. And this is completely rotational. So you can go all the way around. And that's where the SD card goes. Now let's check out the solar panel. This thing is also really light. Wow. That's pretty cool. And you just have to peel this off. That way you get infinite surveillance. And then they give you a nano SIM card. And this is the cord that connects to the camera from the solar panel. And then we got this. Let's see what this is. Got some stickers here. And it looks like we got some mounts here. What's that? And I believe this is the charging cable for the camera if you didn't want to use the solar panel. And then we have some hardware here to mount the solar panel. And then here we have a strap where we can actually use this on a gutter or like a pole in your house if you don't want to use the hardware and have to drill. And then finally we have the SD card here. This thing holds 32 gigabytes. And you can also access this camera anywhere using the app. This thing has some pretty cool features as 4K, 4G, Wi-Fi, has self-sustaining solar power, AI tracking, it has 4K ultra color with night vision. And if you install the solar panel, you're gonna have 24/7 off-the-grid freedom with self-sustaining power, which is pretty crazy. It actually pans up to 344 degrees and tilts up to 70 degrees for full surveillance. Another really cool thing is that this camera is protected from the rain and also extreme temperatures of -4 degrees to 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So they also give us a little quick start guide to help us out, especially if you're not tech savvy. Okay, so I went ahead and got the app. I'm gonna connect device. And then we want to select the type of device that we have. We have a battery camera. We have the 4G LTE Cam. And to minimize data usage, I'm just going to use the Wi-Fi binding. And then I have to press the sync button until I hear a beep.
Setup was successful.
And so now I was able to connect the camera to my Wi-Fi network. So this is pretty cool right here. We have a live view. And from here, it actually notifies you. It actually notifies me and tells me that there is someone there. So the AI is really good at picking up people's faces and just bodies in general. And I can manually just adjust everything from the app. So I can do a pan and tilt. I can move it up or down, right, left. But let's go ahead and test this out outside to see how it looks. So installing this thing is actually pretty easy to do. You just have to use the strap here if you don't want to use the hardware, and it also has a mount. It doesn't take that long whatsoever, maybe 5 to 20 minutes. And I want you guys to see here just how good the AI tracking is. I'm walking down this hill here and it's following me. It's able to recognize my face, recognize my body and my movement, and it rotates all the way down to the porch here. It even picks up the audio. You can hear me stomping around. And this is so unique because a lot of cameras simply do not do this. Like we see security cameras all the time, their surveillance footage. It does not pick up this type of quality and how it's able to just stick with you regardless of where you go. Another really cool feature is right here. I'm going to show you, it's able to rotate on the other side of my house as well. When I disappear behind this tree, it actually picks me back up as I walk past it. Also in the upper right hand corner, it'll tell you the exact date and time, and it's able to figure that out once you set up the app. Another cool feature that it has that you can remotely do from the app is turn on the spotlight. This is going to be useful, especially at nighttime when you're trying to see exactly what you're filming. And while you open the app, you can also zoom in and zoom out to really get an idea of what you're surveilling. And you can just see the good quality here. This thing records all the way up to 4K. Now, obviously, if you record in that, it's going to take up more battery usage and more data usage. And you can also manually adjust the camera. So you can move it around, pan it around, up, down, left, right. And I thought it was pretty cool here. I actually went all the way down and it was able to spot that bush there. You can also manually adjust and set the default positions that you want the camera to be in. So I can actually set this to always be looking towards the end of my driveway. You can also adjust a handful of settings like the motion detection, the night vision, and you can actually adjust the sensitivity, the detection sensitivity. You can do day and night optimization, motion detection, and you can actually cut off the AI, which, I mean, you really don't want to do that because you want to be able to have the camera, just rely on the camera to track everything. And you can also adjust the quality as well, the streaming quality. You can even set up a schedule for when you want this thing to run. So there's just a handful of features on here which makes this thing pretty convenient to use. And I accidentally labeled this as backyard. This is obviously my front yard, but you can have different settings per different positions for your home. It'll even send you notifications when it senses motion. Another thing to mention about this thing too is that on one full battery charge, it will last an entire month without solar power. And that's if you have around 10 daily detection events and 5 live viewing sessions daily. And if you wanted to use data as opposed to Wi-Fi for this thing, it's going to consume about 700 megabytes per month. Now, unfortunately, they don't have the gutter mount strap for this solar panel, so you might have to get that separately, but if you're going to be using the hardware, you'll be able to install these together. So overall, this thing is pretty awesome. It's really convenient too. I'm amazed by the AI technology this thing has. Honestly, when you see regular security cameras, they don't really move as much as this one does in terms of being able to track your face, track movement, even if you disappear for a couple of seconds, it's able to lock right back onto you. And not to mention the camera quality is really good too, including the audio quality. And just having this on your property in general is going to dissuade a ton of people from messing around with your stuff. So I do think this is worth it overall, regardless of the type of property that you have. You just want to make sure that you put it up in a high enough location where people cannot reach it. So I recommend getting like a ladder, raising it higher on the gutter, which I really didn't do for this video, but I highly recommend doing that. But with that being said, this thing is pretty awesome.